Look, I have long resisted the, you know, female cops memes that, you should not, that women shouldn't be cops. Because I've always thought, hey, look, I can show you 100 examples of men being bad cops as well. And I can. But it feels like the bad female cops are just on another level. And there was this heart stopping video that came out of California yesterday that is going to make the best case imaginable for why women just should not be police officers. It's a joke. I think that women, should can work for the police department. I think that they can do investigations. I think that they can do, um, they can look through evidence. They can do evidence collection. They can do anything a male cop can do except be on the street. This was very, very bad. And before I get into that, just a huge shout out to this video sponsor, PDS Debt. If you're feeling buried under credit card debt or bills, personal loans, or medical debt, it's like your money's working harder for you and for your lenders, than it is for you. It doesn't have to be that way. PDS Debt is more than just help managing your debt. They empower you to take control. Using their platform, they go beyond the numbers to understand your unique financial situation and craft a personalized plan designed just for you. No more cookie cutter solutions, just a clear path to financial freedom that fits your lifestyle. Certainly, I've been in and out of debt a few times in my life, and particularly after college. And, I can relate to this daily rain cloud over your head. Getting started is easy. Go to pdsdebt.com/quartering to complete your free debt assessment to see what options are available to you. Every day you wait, it's costing you money. Get started with your free debt analysis in just 30 seconds at pdsdebt.com/quartering. That's pdsdebt.com/quartering. Take back control by visiting pdsdebt.com/quartering today. Link also in the description. There's this video that came out that is just wild. Dramatic body cam footage shows a moment a police officer begs for her life after a deranged man simply just walked up to her and took her weapon off of her. In the disturbing video, the unidentified woman is heard pleading, "Please don't take my life," following the confrontation with a 26-year-old O'Shawn McClintock of Fountain Valley, Orange County. When I say that it's bad, it is bad. You're not in trouble or anything, man. I just need to talk to you, the officer tells McClintock, who appears disorientated, probably on drugs. Can you take me to Jonathan's? McClintock asks as he approaches the officer. Okay, we'll figure it out. Just take a seat for me, the officer replies before asking what's wrong. You've got no shirt on. But after being asked again, the officer to take a seat, McClintock's behavior suddenly changes. I don't have to, he snaps before the officer replies, yes, you do. Suddenly, he makes a run for it while chanting, "In Jesus' name, I pray forever, amen," running to a nearby gas station and then to a bank before going into a parking lot. And then, by the way, this individual has to lose their life because this female cop couldn't do her job. Because this female cop was so bad at her job, this man is he's now no longer with us. I'm going to show you part of it because it is staggering how bad this cop is. Let me grab this quick. I thought I had it pulled up, but they just have it is so shockingly bad. It is, this meme went viral, right? Here is female cops, man. Miami Beach PD gets a call about being a man. Oh, it turns out to be a lighter. Where is this one? Here's the one of a female cop. Here we go. Female cop, Fountain Valley, watch this. There's a little buffer on the audio here, okay? Kicks in after about 10 seconds. She pulls her weapon on him, okay? There's no audio in the clip. He just walks up to her and grabs her. Just walks up to her and grabs it. Absolutely insane. Just walks up to her. At any time, by the way, she could have pulled the trigger. Listen to this woman. By the way, at that point, she drops a magazine, so she gives him more ammo. All she had to do was pull the trigger there, and it would have been totally justified, by the way, but she completely collapsed. That is not restraint. That is what is called a complete meltdown. Then she drops an extra mag for him, obviously. This guy, is probably trying to, have his life removed by cop or whatever. But this woman now, because she can't control this man ends up dead, right? Could have tased him, could have closed your door, or you could have dispatched him yourself. But of course, her male partner has to save her life. And she's literally crying, melting down. There should just be no female officers, period. None. Not on the street. I'm reminded of this video.
If you ever catch the eye of a female cop, hope you wore your bulletproof vest. Hope you got your vest on, man.
Yep.
I'm praying for you.
Unironically. Yeah.
Because that gun on her waist at some point is going to accidentally go off. She's going to draw it out thinking it's a taser. She's going to have her finger on the trigger before she's ready to fire.
The officer drew their handgun instead of their taser.
Something you did made her feel threatened. You're taller than her. She feels threatened for her life.
Yeah.
The only recourse she has physically is to shoot you.
This was an accidental discharge.
I just hope that if you ever get pulled over by a woman, you're wearing a fucking bulletproof vest.
I mean, the number of cases, again, are there male cops out there that shouldn't be on the job? Yes. But female cops should not be on the streets, period. As Matt Walsh pointed out several years ago, and of course Media Matters had a meltdown about it, if you are a female officer, you are going to be easily overpowered by more than 50% of the population. Who, by the way, are who's most often getting arrested? It's men. Which means, 80, 90% of the interactions an officer is going to have of a physical variety is going to be with a man. Which means a female cop is going to get overpowered at 80 to 90%. I'm just making up that number, but it's obviously a large number. 80 to 90% of these interactions that you have, you will not be able to physically overpower that person. There are innumerable examples. Here's one from a few weeks ago where a female officer gives a guy a lead injection with his own weapon. He told them that he was armed. She grabbed it and she put a bullet through his leg. Oops. I mean, what is going on? There are numerous examples. How about Kim Potter? Perhaps the most famous example. I thought it was a taser. Took a guy's life. You thought it was a taser? There are no scenarios in the world that you could pick up those two items and think they're the same. There are zero scenarios in the world where you pick up those two items and think they're the same thing. This is the origination of the taser person, I believe. I had another clip. This is just like the top 5 or 10 Google searches. There was another one where the female officer just took out a guy who... Oh, wait, right here. I retweeted it this morning. Here's another one. By the way, you know exactly before it happens. right? Okay, they're struggling. Okay. Here's a female cop. Dead. I mean, what the? I mean, what? I mean, I don't really even understand. I don't know how much more I can, how many more examples I can give you. Obviously, there's the hilarious male cop that thought an acorn falling out of a tree was, somebody, and he was doing all these barrel rolls and all this stuff. Yes, there are bad male cops. There are bad ones, and they should be off the streets too. But the female ones are never going to be in a position to succeed because they cannot physically overpower the vast majority of people that they're going to have to do that. Here's Matt's video. This is from earlier this year. I thought it was older than this.
And, I'm the first to say, usually when it comes to cases of alleged police brutality, I'm the first to say that, and I've said many times, that if you just cooperate and comply, and if you're a reasonable person and you're reasonable with the police officers, you're almost certainly going to be fine.
Generally.
Almost always, when someone ends up getting shot or hurt during an interaction with the cops, it's because they went out of their way at every turn to turn the situation into something violent and dangerous when it didn't need to be.
Correct.
But there are exceptions to every rule, and here is the exception. And this is an exception made possible by, of course, a female police officer. And look, I know that there are plenty of male police officers who do dumb things and make mistakes.
That's exactly my point, too.
But this is still the kind of thing that you inevitably get when you start bringing women into the force in the name of diversity and inclusion.
He's right.
Like I said, DEI in action. This is what happened. And you can just tell, in that short clip from the body cam that this woman is very nervous handling the guy's firearm. So how does a woman who's nervous handling a gun?
Yeah. This must be about the video that when she was disarming a guy. I mean, look, I've seen plenty of male cops that are like 300 pounds that couldn't fight to save their lives either. I'm saying they should be off the force too. The women have zero chance in a physical altercation that does not involve them having to use lethal force. It's gotta stop. We gotta stop pretending. Look, women are smart. They can do investigations on crime scenes. They could be investigators. They can do a lot of jobs in the police force, but they cannot be in the field. They can't be. Can't be. It can't happen. And that goes for overweight male cops too, and male cops who have bad tendencies and do stuff too. It's just got to stop. Now, with my luck, I'll be pulled over by a female cop later who's seen this video. Just, remember my name, boys. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments.